So you've bought the multi in the city, you've bought some scattered, you got a multi in the suburbs. You've done you've done a few rehabs now, fairly medium sized type rehabs. Mm-hmm. What are you really looking at right now? Are you looking just to kind of grow that more of that scattered site? Or are you looking into more development type stuff?
So good question. I'm continuing to look for rental properties in those kind of A, B plus areas, whether that be single family, duplex, triplex, quad, all those, so on and so forth. Obviously, those are tough to come by. But I am moving on to getting into private lending. I know a couple flippers, rehabbers. I'm trying to get into some private lending deals. And then I'm starting to dabble in some development deals, kind of where you kind of are, kind of Kane County area. And also in Naperville, there's a development deal that I'm kind of going back and forth on. So just trying to dip my toe in, see what fits, evaluate as many deals as I can. Also, if I can flip a couple of properties to make some money to put back into some more deals, I'd love that as well.
Looking at, we're at a weird time right now where we're not sure what's going to happen with Russia. We're not sure with inflation. We're not sure if this is the start of some kind of downturn. Like what type of precautions are you taking as far as kind of looking at these larger scale things or even private money? Is there anything that you're nervous about?
On the terms of the buy and hold side, I'm not super nervous. If there's a 7% interest rate and the deal works at 7% interest rate, it works. Whether it works at a 3.1% or a 7, doesn't really matter. The deal works for me. So I'm going to get on it. Flipping, I'm a little nervous just because you don't know how the market's going to be with the interest rates. I think the market's going to somehow keep going up. But if I have a flip that takes 9-10 months, and then all of a sudden interest rates go from 4 to 6 somehow, obviously it's going to be harder for someone to afford the new property. So flips I'm a little bit more cautious on, but for buy and holds, if the deal works for me.
Is interest rates, and maybe I ask both you guys this, is interest rates going to be what's going to kind of curtail rising prices even in the face of low inventory?
Tom, you want to start it off?
Sure. Like demand is still just so high. Like demand is just so, supply and demand is nowhere near, rates can go to 7. I think we're still going to have a supply shortage, right? It'll help this like craziness of getting, 20 offers all over a list. Like I think it'll help bring it down, but we're just the fundamentals are still just so far off and we're not building enough new ones either. So like, I see like there's not enough good product on the market. So you mentioned like flipping and like, you never know what's going to happen 9 or 10 months. Obviously a valid concern, but like good product will still be out there. Like there's a lack of good product. Like I feel real good about everything that we're putting on the market. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but supply and demand is completely out of whack. And I also feel like we can't have this crazy runaway inflation for the sole reason that we are a global economy, right? This isn't 1950s where it's just us. Like if we start having this where, hey, we're gonna have to pay someone $100,000 to work at McDonald's, it's like, no, we're gonna outsource it, right? We're gonna use technology. We're gonna go to India. We're gonna go to China. Like we have these caps that kind of hold our inflation to a certain level. Like we can't have this crazy runaway inflation. I guess we could, but like it would just be bonkers if we did. Like there's all these global pressures that would curtail that to some point if it got, everyone talks about, hey, rates used to be 14%. Like, I don't see how that would ever happen because if it did, like, it would just destroy middle, low class America.
Yeah, I think you made a good point with there's definitely low inventory and good product is still going to sell, but I've been noticing, at least on my offer end, there's still competitive offers, but there just aren't as many right now. And we'll see if that picks up in June and May coming here right now. But yeah, like you said, like inventory is still low, so it's going to stay competitive. But I am seeing, at least on my end, the offers coming down a little bit. Less people in the game.